I see Mr. Kimler was helping everybody. Was that his second job? He's still working?
He's been helper, Joe. He's gonna send the bill.
Okay. All right, 22-39416 is first call, the state of Texas versus Arthur Small Jr. That's you.
Yes, sir.
Present with your attorney, Ms. Peroso, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this indictment and as well the second case we're going to be handling, 24 CR 702, a third-degree felony of assault public servant? Can we proceed in summary in both cases?
Yes, sir.
We will start with 39416. In summary, sir, this indictment alleges that on or about February 17th, 2022, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the first-degree felony of murder with the use of a deadly weapon, namely a firearm. Do you understand what you are charged with in this case?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has been reached in this case that you would be prosecuted for the lesser included offense of manslaughter.
Yes.
Stand by. That this is my which is a second-degree felony, which carries with it no less than 2 nor more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, manslaughter is found under section 19.04 of the Texas Penal Code, and this statute provides that a person commits the offense of manslaughter if he recklessly causes the death of an individual. An offense under this section is a felony of the second degree. You understand?
Yes, sir.
An agreement has further been reached by the parties that you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 8 years in prison to run concurrently with this next third-degree felony of assault on a public servant case, and these cases would run concurrently. Is that your understanding of the agreements?
Yes, sir.
If I followed these agreements, sir, you have no right of appeal of your cases. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this lesser included manslaughter here under 22-39416? Guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will.
Yes, sir.
And because you are guilty.
And because of my health.
So, I'm guilty.
There's a lot I gotta sign. Okay, we're gonna hold that one in abeyance where we left off and go forward to 24 CR 702. And in this case, this indictment reads that on or about February 15th, 2024, within like 2 days. No, these were on separate years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In on or about February 15th, 2024, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. Do you understand what you're charged with here?
Yes, sir.
Looks like somebody in Jefferson County Jail was assaulted. A guard or some member of the executive branch of government there. A third-degree felony carries with it no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand the punishment range for a third-degree felony of assault on a public servant?
Yes, sir.
An agreement's been reached in this case as well that you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 8 years in prison to run concurrently with the preceding murder case. And is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to this charge, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Because I'm guilty.
Show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 for each of these 2 cases you pleaded guilty to this morning. Did you sign those documents voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Understand them, discuss them with your attorney? Are the contents all true and correct?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence
No
and
objection.
without objection admitted. Among other things, each of these cases, State's Exhibit 1 similarly state that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty pleas. They are freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with in each of these cases. You are
Yes, sir.
guilty of these crimes and any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial in each case and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses, totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer, all true, so help you God. Correct?
You have to
Yes,
state.
States Exhibit 1 in each case made a part of the record for all purposes. Pre-sentence report waived.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to follow these agreements if nothing further to add and find in each of these cases, sir, you are pleading guilty voluntarily. You are indeed mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence from States Exhibit 1 supporting your guilty plea in each case to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each of these cases. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each of these two cases. In 22-39416, the first degree murder, you are stand by. In this first degree murder indictment, you are hereby found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of a lesser included second degree felony of manslaughter as agreed by the parties. And I find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of that second degree felony. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 8 years in prison. And an affirmative finding shall be rendered on the judgment that a deadly weapon, namely firearm, was used in the commission of the offense. And in 24 CR 702, I hereby find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the third degree felony of assault on a public servant. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 8 years on that third degree felony. These two sentences shall run concurrently, and you will be given credit for all time you have served in connection with these cases. Do you understand what's happened today, sir, in each
Yes,
case?
sir.
Anything else to add?
No.
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Yes. Right here, sir. Thank you. All right, 25 CR 1017 is called the State of Texas versus David Christian Colbeck. That's you.
Yes, sir.
With Mr. Adams, your attorney, and the state's attorney. You're charged with a third degree felony of stalking. I've got this letter from you sent September 3rd, something about these other misdemeanor cases.
Oh, that was the.
We can't find any.
They're civil cases. It's a dog at large. I meant to send it to the county court that.
Well, we're not showing anything that's filed like that, actually, which may be good for you, but
Okay, I appreciate that.
let's worry about this case.
Yeah.
Does the defendant who's here with Mr. Adams waive a formal reading of this indictment and arraignment? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, this indictment alleges that on or about June 3rd, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the third degree felony of stalking. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what you're starting
Yes,
with? What's paragraph 2 go on to allege? And
Go ahead.
Your Honor, that's just a further, the initial.
I mean, that doesn't change anything.
No, sir.
This states that you sent repeated electronic communications to the complainant that was reasonably likely to harass, annoy, alarm, abuse, torment, embarrass, or offend another person. Namely, repeated electronic texts with vulgar and abusive language. And also it goes on to state that you also sent obscene nude images and videos that would cause a reasonable person to be harassed, annoyed, alarmed, abused, tormented, embarrassed, or offended. You understand what you're charged with
Yes,
here?
sir.
Tell me you're not going to do that again.
No, sir.
This is a third degree felony. So That means that if convicted, you face no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Very serious, obviously.
Yes.
An agreement's been reached in your case where you would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. That sentence would then be suspended. You would be placed on regular probation for 10 years, fined $500. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
If I follow this agreement, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes.
How do you plead to this, sir? Guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty voluntarily? That is on your own free will and because you are guilty.
Yes, sir. And she can stay there.
To show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 here. Did you sign that document voluntarily, understand it, discuss it with your attorney? Or the allegations all true and correct there?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence
So
without objection admitted. Among other things, this states you are mentally capable and competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You were guilty of the crime charged in any lesser included offenses. You were giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, so help you God. State's Exhibit 1 is part of the record for all purposes. Is a pre-sentence report waived here?
Yes, sir.
I am going to follow this agreement and find, if nothing to add, Mr. Gobat, I guess you regret what you did here. This is all fixed. I can't imagine putting somebody through something like this because once it gets into the internet, it's there forever. And that is the gift that should not be given. Continue to give, but I don't know how you pull it out of the internet. So this person is subject to further victimization.
It was text messages, sir.
Well, this, I'm sorry, this says sending obscene nude images and videos. That's not true.
It was sent to the complainant, Your Honor, just by text. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, ladies deserve better respect than this. Come on. All right, shame on you. And fix this. Right. Again, I find you, there is sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as third-degree felony of stalking. I am following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years in prison. Imprisonment, that term of confinement is suspended. You are placed on regular probation for 10 years. There will be terms and conditions of probation, which are normally customary for this type of offense. There's a fine of $500. There is going to be, among other conditions of probation, you will complete a program called moral reclamation therapy, which is something that helps you make good decisions, and it teaches you that people can be victimized and harmed by your reckless, insensitive acts, and that this helps you make better decisions in the future. Make sure you follow this. If you fail, your probation could be revoked and you could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand what has happened today, sir? You know, you got a conviction. That's a felony conviction. All right. You know how long you have to carry it the rest of your life. That's why you don't want to do this. Make better choices. Okay. And treat a lady with the respect they deserve, that they should have. Thank you.